Welcome to WatchMojo UK, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 ridiculous reasons why British politicians resigned. For this list, we'll be looking at insane moments that led to a British MP having to resign from their job, party, or a position they held. Which MP resignation was the most shocking for you? Let us know below. Number 10. Tim Farron. With Nick Clegg contributing to the Liberal Democrats' fall from grace after the coalition with the Conservatives, he stepped down as leader of the party in 2015. That resulted in Tim Farron taking the position. Once top dog, Farron was constantly pressed about his Christian faith during interviews, often asked about policies that would clash with his beliefs. After securing his position as an MP for Westmoreland and Lonsdale in the 2017 general election, he decided to step down as leader of the Lib Dems, with Vince Cable taking over. He felt holding that position clashed with his religious beliefs. Farron later mentioned his regrets about not vocally supporting same-sex relationships when regularly asked about his thoughts on the matter by the media. Number 9. Matt Hancock. With the UK public sticking to social distancing rules to keep everyone safe from worldwide events, Health Secretary Matt Hancock, who installed many of these measures, had other ideas. In 2021, a video of him leaked that showed Hancock canoodling with Gina Coladangelo, a non-executive director at the Department of Health and Social Care. Both Hancock and Coladangelo were married to other people. Prime Minister Boris Johnson decided to publicly support Hancock and declared the matter was closed. But with mounting public pressure and anger, Hancock resigned as Health Secretary shortly after and was replaced by Sajid Javid. Still, at least we won't have to see Hancock awkwardly stand too close to women for a while. Number 8. Anthony Lambton. In 1973, shocking images of Tory MP Lord Lambton were released in the News of the World that showed the politician lying in bed with 2 call girls. The photos were secretly taken by the husband of one of the women. A police search of Lambton's residence also found cannabis. With all of the terrible publicity of the infamous Profumo scandal, Lambton resigned as an MP. Due to some confusion between Jellicoe House, a place one of the women used as a rendezvous, and the leader of the House of Lords, Lord Jellicoe, he was asked about his involvement in the scandal. He denied knowing the women, but stated he used the services of Mayfield Escort Agency. Jellicoe also resigned shortly after. Number 7. John Stonehouse. Only a year after the Lambton saga, Stonehouse's clothes were discovered on a Miami beach with no sign of the MP. Seemingly, he was lost at sea. But not really. He was found and arrested in Australia, attempting to live under a new identity. Before faking his own demise, Stonehouse was set to be investigated for fraud, so he took drastic measures to escape being caught. But that didn't work. Stonehouse was soon deported to the UK and was sentenced to 7 years in prison. He then resigned as an MP for Walsall North. To make the story more dramatic, long after his actual demise, it turned out that Stonehouse had also been a spy for Czechoslovakia since 1962. Number 6. Neil Parish. In 2022, shocking news emerged that an MP had been caught watching adult content in the House of Commons. It soon transpired to be Conservative MP Neil Parish, and it didn't take long for the politician to make excuses for what had happened. Parish claimed the first time he was caught, he was looking up a Class Dominator tractor on his phone, saw the services for something that sounds like that, and accidentally clicked on the link. He then went back to this website, this time on purpose, whilst he waited for a vote to take place and was spotted by a colleague. With all the embarrassing publicity, Parish resigned from his Tiverton and Honiton constituency. Number 5. Edwina Currie. Before the jaw-dropping news of her affair with former PM John Major, Currie was the Parliamentary Under-Secretary of State for Health under Margaret Thatcher. In 1988, that all came crashing down. Currie gave a press release where she announced that most of the eggs in the UK now had salmonella. This sparked fear amongst the British people. 4 million healthy hens were culled as egg sales fell by 60%. Farmers were livid with Currie's comments. The scandal caused Curry to resign as the Undersecretary, but she remained a Conservative MP for South Derbyshire. Years later, it turned out Curry was right. A covered-up report was released that showed there was a salmonella epidemic of considerable proportions. Number 4. Mass exodus. In early 2019, there was a mutiny of disillusioned politicians from the Labour Party as 7 MPs resigned and decided to start their own group. They were soon joined by 4 Tory MPs as well. This new party was going to be called the Independent Group, but since the name was confused with politicians that stood as independents, it became Change UK, the Independent Group. The website change.org then sued the group due to its similarity to their name, causing the party to switch to the Independent Group for Change. Then 6 of their 11 members quit, and eventually the party was closed 10 months after forming. None of the MPs were re-elected at the 2019 general election. Number 3. Owen Paterson. In 2021, Tory MP Paterson was found by the Parliamentary Commissioner for Standards to have broken the rules on paid advocacy. He'd been lobbying on behalf of companies for government contracts whilst he received over £100,000 annually from them. When the news came out, rather than simply suspend Paterson, the government tried to change the rules on paid advocacy. The public was livid, and the government quickly changed their tune. Instead, they would hold a vote on whether Paterson should be suspended. With mounting pressure before the vote, Paterson decided to step down as an MP. In his resignation speech from the North Shropshire constituency, Paterson stated he wanted to be outside the cruel world of politics. Number 2. Boris Johnson. It wasn't the first time the Conservative Party committed regicide after notoriously ousting Thatcher back in 1990. But Johnson's resignation might be just as dramatic, even though his premiership lasted less than 3 years versus Thatcher's 11. In the end, it was death by 1,000 cuts. The Partygate scandal led to investigations by the Met and numerous politicians, including the PM, getting fined, as well as a dozen resignations. But in July, another scandal emerged involving shamed Tory Chris Pincher, who'd been accused of sexual misconduct. It turned out Johnson already knew about this ahead of Pincher's appointment, and more than 50 Tories resigned as ministers, including most of his cabinet. Finally, on the 7th of July, Boris announced that he'd be stepping down.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Number 1. Jeremy Thorpe. After the 1974 general election, the Liberal leader Thorpe was enjoying success as he rejected the Conservatives' offer to form a coalition government with him. But then it all went downhill. In 1975, Norman Scott was walking his dog when the pup was killed in a failed assassination attempt, apparently taken out by Thorpe's friend, David Holmes. Thorpe allegedly had a relationship with Scott going back to the early 60s. After being treated badly, Scott threatened Thorpe with going public. So, with hush money and suppressing the story, Thorpe kept it quiet for a while. But after the assassination attempt and resulting trial, it was too much. He resigned as the Liberal leader, but was later found not guilty.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo UK and subscribe for more great content.